Things may not be immediately discernible in what a man writes, but eventually they are quite clear, and by these, in the degree of alchemy that he possesses, he will endure or be forgotten. For a true writer, each book should be a new beginning where he tries again for something that is beyond attainment. He should always try for something that has never been done or that others have tried and failed. Then, sometimes, with good luck, he will succeed. How simple the writing of literature would be if it were only necessary to write in another way what has been well written. It is because we have had such great writers in the past that a writer is driven far out past where he can go, out to where no one can help him. I have spoken too long for a writer. A writer should write what he has to say and not speak it. Again, I thank you.
Things that he did is he created a whole new style of writing. Writing was more like Theodore Carey, very formal writing. He created a style of writing that was very informal. Short sentences, noun, verb, object, not a lot of flowery writing. And basically he was responsible for creating a whole new style of writing in this country, and frankly the world. Without him, who knows who would have done that. I just want to read you one little passage, though, that is from a book that this was published posthumously. It was after his death. His wife published it. Just recently it was republished by his grandson because his wife edited it and she left out some things. So his grandson put things back in. But in this, he's in Paris and he's writing at a cafe where he went every day to write, and he met other authors there. Okay, here it starts. It was a pleasant cafe, warm and clean and friendly. And I hung up my old waterproof, which meant on a coat, it was a waterproof coat, on the coat rack to dry, and put my worn and weathered felt hat on the rack above the bench and ordered a café au lait. The waiter brought it, and I took out a notebook from the pocket of the coat and a pencil and started to write. I was writing up in Michigan, and since it was a wild, cold, blowing day, it was that sort of day in the story. So what he was doing, he was remembering what it was like to grow up in Michigan. He spent every summer here, all summer long. And while he was in Paris in the 1930s, he was writing about Michigan. And I have a friend who wrote a book about his writing in Michigan, and he gives examples through photography of scenes that you can still see today that he has described with a photographic memory. Even though he only came back to Michigan once after he was 19, he came back in 1945, only one time to pay some taxes on his mother's home. So he had a phenomenal photographic memory. A friend of mine who became his son's wife was his secretary in Spain, and she would follow him around sort of to see if he got everything right in a book. And she said his memory, it was flawless. There was nothing he described that you couldn't actually see yourself. And that's pretty unusual for a writer. So one of probably our most famous writers.
Wie der König der Straßen von Monte Carlo.
given day, a given circumstance, you think you have a limit, and you then go for this limit, and you touch this limit, and you think, okay, this is the limit. As soon as you touch this limit, something happens and you suddenly can go a little bit further. With your mind power, your determination, your instinct, and the experience as well, you can fly very high.
At the end of this